San Diego Mayor Todd Gloria outlining his plans for 2026.
He's joining us this morning with the issues that he wants to focus on. Good morning, and thank you for being here today.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Okay, I know top on your list, and everybody's talking about it, are these parking fees at Balboa Park. So now a few weeks into 2026, what do you say to those who are pushing back and saying it's just too much, it's affecting everything?
Yeah. Well, I don't think that's the full story. I mean, I recognize and acknowledge that change is difficult. And I start from a place of what can we all agree on, which is that everyone loves Balboa Park, right? Every San Diegan loves this park. And the fact is that these revenues from parking must stay in the park. And so in an environment where the city is tackling a fairly significant structural budget deficit, this is a way that we can create an ongoing resource to protect and enhance the park. And I've heard the concerns about the people who are opposed. What I think is little reported is the fact that thousands of San Diegans have signed up and purchased permits to park regularly in the park. We have already generated hundreds of thousands of dollars in just a few weeks' time that will stay in the park. And those are dollars that we're going to use to repair broken streetlights, to repave the parking lots, to maintain this crown jewel of our city. I think that part gets lost in the conversation, as well as the conversations I had with a woman just the other day who went to the Old Globe at night with her daughter and was able to find a parking space near the theater, walk in, and she felt safe. She felt like it was easy and accessible. That is obviously in contrast to a lot of the stories we hear from people who have difficulty paying at the meter or are just opposed to it generally.
We live in a world where optics are everything. Everybody has opinions on the phones, and it takes more in-depth analysis to understand truly what is going on. My question to you is, when you have a couple of your council members who voted for this suddenly like a day later saying, oh, never mind, let's stop this, that doesn't look good. That doesn't reflect well on the city, on the planning by the city to do something like implement something this big. How does that happen?
Well, that's politics, and I can't control their behavior, but I can control what I'm doing, which is to stay the course, collect the data. You know, if we find that something isn't working, I have no problem making some changes. But I certainly didn't support a fee until I did it, right? And I think what you see is approaching elections, people's considerations for their own personal political futures. In my case, all I'm doing is looking out for the health and safety of our city. I know that this is a change that is difficult necessarily to accept, but in the long run, when the park continues to shine and to be the crown jewel that we know it to be, I think in time I'll be proven correct and I'm going to stay the course.
It seems like what I'm hearing is like this is a long game for you guys in terms of it'll pay off in the long run. But then Automotive Museum just this weekend, and it was everywhere. They're like, well, there's nobody here. It's down 38%, 40 whatever percent. The people at the Comic-Con Museum said there's nobody here, and it's a Saturday or Sunday. That's short. Obviously, it just happened. People are adjusting. What do you say to those folks?
Well, I'd like to know the data set, right? Is it down from what, the week before, which is the holiday season in which you have blockbuster attendance? In fact, I went to the zoo a couple days after Christmas. I couldn't even find a parking space, right? So I get, I would ask about the data set. Secondarily, I think when your reporters and others are out at the park and they're seeing lots that are less utilized, I think that's generally because those lots have typically been utilized by park employees and by park volunteers, not folks who are visiting the park. Now those folks have to park in one of the outlying lots in order to make space for people who are coming to visit the museums, who are coming to enjoy the zoo. So that's a change. And when people say, oh, those lots are empty, I think the difference is what you are actually having is an opportunity for people to park. And Raul, because my business is my business, I will simply say before all this, the answer was there's no parking in the park. I've circled for hours. I can't find a place. Now we're creating a situation where you can go and predict and be able to park and enjoy the park and then leave. And a reminder, there continues to be free parking in the park. It's at Inspiration Point, and if you do not wish to pay, you can park there.
Parking is just one issue. One thing you got to do on this. I'm looking at a long list of things. Let's move over to homelessness right now. What are your plans this year to address that?
Well, we have had a great year in 2025 where we saw a 14% reduction in unsheltered homeless in the city of San Diego. We saw a dramatic reduction in tent encampments in downtown. We're not perfect, far from it, but we have more work to do. Shali, the concern that I have, and I want your viewers to know, is that at the federal and state level, we are seeing real challenges. This past year, the state of California eliminated the funding they send to cities like ours to support our homelessness response system. And at the federal government, perhaps unsurprisingly, there are proposals to reduce or eliminate that funding as well. If both things come to pass, the progress that we're seeing could very quickly be stopped. At a time where we're actually seeing the kinds of results that I think you and I would like to see, we need to double down on our strategy, continue to expand our outreach, outreach and shelter operations and move people into housing, make last year's 14% become 30% this year. But if we don't have the cooperation of our federal and state partners, that will be nearly impossible.
We're trying to hit on as many things as possible. Midway Rising, we keep hearing about this, and it's back in the court. It's going to happen. It's back in the court. It's this. Where do we stand on that? Is that ever actually going to happen, and how is it playing out in the courts right now?
Sure. Well, in my State of the City address, I made it very clear we are going to get this done. And I recognize that recent legal decisions throw some doubt on that. But at the end of the day, here's the deal. We've had 2 citywide elections where the people of San Diego said, we want this. And we have individual judges who see it as their right to overturn that. We will be persistent in following this. We have a wonderful proposal to take 48 acres of underutilized publicly owned property and turn it into over 4,000 homes, 14 acres of park, and a new world-class arena that could potentially draw a new sports team to San Diego. We want to get this done, and whether that's through litigation, legislation, or action by the City Council, we will have this done. My intention is to bring this for a council vote this spring.
Okay, you talk about adding those 4,000 homes, just overall, your plans to just create more housing in San Diego.
Shelley, thank you for asking about that. We talk a lot about the cost of living, about affordability, and we do it often in the form of gas prices and groceries, which are understandable, but the #1 consumer of your viewers' budgets are their housing costs. What we had in 2025 was good news. We have doubled our historic production of new housing in our city. That means that rents are leveling off, or in some cases going down, but there's more work to do. Going forward, whether it's utilizing things like Midway Rising or other city-owned properties that are underutilized, or working with the private sector to make sure the housing units that we're building are affordable to working and middle-class San Diegans, not just to low income, but to the people who get up every day and work hard. That is the objective. What we're seeing are positive trend lines, and it's time to continue on that pathway. Later this year, I'm asking the City Council to approve my Neighborhood Homes for All of Us initiative, which would seek to build more for-sale units for middle-class families. We recognize there's perhaps more options for rentals, but there's not nearly enough options for sale, and I want San Diegans to be able to buy a home, lay down roots, build wealth, and raise families in our city.
Before we let you go, I want one final statement open for you because top of mind, parking, Balboa Park. Some people have said, you use the term double down. Some people are saying that you're doubling down on this. Are you sticking with it officially now? Yeah. Are you sticking with it? Will you take a pause? Are you going to cancel it? Or is this because people, we have heard, they're saying that, oh, they're prioritizing now profits over residents, and there's a lot of arguments. I know you've heard them all. Your final thing on this. This is going to stay in San Diego long term. Tell the folks.
Yes, it is. So we're only 2 or 3 weeks into this. What we're doing is collecting data. As I mentioned before, if we start to see trend lines that we don't think are hitting our objectives, we'll make some changes. But for the time being, we are going to continue on this path. I think it's absolutely necessary to properly manage the parking in Balboa Park, to generate a long-term sustainable revenue source to invest in the park. And ultimately, Raul, Shelley, my goal is to get Balboa Park off of our city's general fund. When is the last time you had a mayor come in here and say we have plenty of money at City Hall? It's never happened. I want to be the mayor that not only balances the city's budget for the long haul, but makes Balboa Park kind of off and separate, self-supporting, so it doesn't matter what recession or economic headwind there is, the park will continue to sparkle. This is one way to do it. That is the objective, and we will get this done.
Mayor Todd Gloria, we know you're a busy man. We appreciate the time as always, and as we were joking about earlier, New Year.
Not Happy New Year. New Year.
A lot going on already. New Year. Todd, thank you very much.
Thank you both.
Appreciate it.